Anime has ruined my younger brother, he has negative riz and runs around like Naruto in public. I have a little brother who is 2 years younger than me. He's immature and thinks he's special, better than anyone else. Part of the reason for this is anime, such as Attack on Titan. He has rewatched the entire series about 4 times, and even cosplays as Levi and Eren during Halloween. The worst part is that he wears Attack on Titan shirts in public along with a scouting regiment cape, and he does the Naruto run wherever he goes, attempting to slash the air with his blades. He also buys Nendoroids on AliExpress and eBay for prices ranging from $20 to $60. But the worst, absolute worst part is his attempt to speak Japanese: konnichiwa, konbanwa, baka, senpai, arigato, and so many more. He doesn't say it to just me, no, he says it to my parents, his friends, basically everyone he knows. The horrid thing is that they all come to ask me what he means, and then I have to explain. There are some words that I don't even know the meaning of. Being obsessed with Japanese words is one thing, but being obsessed with Japanese food is another. He buys sushi every time we go to the store, but worst of all, he also buys like 8 packs of instant ramen. He tells our parents that it's a nice snack, and he likes it, so they end up buying it for him. Please send help, every day I am suffering in pain. Update 1. Hi everyone, it's been 6 years since I last posted here. Since then, so many things have changed, including my brother. 6 years ago, we were both kids, but in hindsight, I can see that this weeaboo phase was the key that unlocked him as a person. I want you guys to see this post as an upside to weeaboos and understand why they might act this way. I'll provide a short recap of the post from 6 years ago. My younger brother, who was 12 at the time, went through this huge weeaboo phase. He'd cosplay in public, speak a mix of English and Japanese, and just embarrass me indirectly. That's how I felt. So I made a post here, took your advice, and tried to bring him up. I remember someone told me I was complaining, and I was. It was my responsibility to help him as his older brother. He's now a very successful person in my eyes and has completely turned his life around. Around the age of 14 to 15, when high school started, he began to face bullying. By then, I was finishing up high school, but I still made sure that he could learn to adapt before leaving. He became depressed because he couldn't make friends and felt incredibly socially isolated. Back then, anime wasn't as popular as it is now. He became spiteful towards other people and would not let go of his identity. Over time, he began to understand why people were against him after enduring so much harassment and cyberbullying. After December of his 9th grade year, he stopped going completely and was deeply depressed. I couldn't help him much other than telling him that's how society is and that he'll need to adapt. Of course, I spent quality time with him, but I also got him into reading self-improvement books. After that, the rest is history. He would read incredibly fast, like he'd read 150 pages of a book in a day and take notes. He began working out and started watching self-improvement videos online. Of course, he would still do the homework from school so he wasn't failing, but he wasn't attending. He would have still had a tough 4 years if COVID didn't hit, but that was the best thing that happened to him and, by extension, me. In Canada, when COVID hit, everything ground to a stop. Money wasn't an issue because of the government handouts, and school was paused for practically a year and a half. During that time, all I remember him doing was reading. Every week, he would pick up a new book in the self-improvement/philosophy/psychology/business category and go at it while taking notes. We'd still watch anime, but he began to grow out of it and resent it because he thought it made him weak. I wasn't much of an anime watcher, but I'd watch with him when I had free time. He then got the idea of doing an exchange year. Of course, he wanted to go to Japan, and by the end of COVID, he'd been taking Japanese classes for a year and a half and was at a B1 conversational level. Other than reading, he'd just be remembering kanji for hours every day. I think he got to almost 2000, which is B2. He could watch anime without subtitles and was so dedicated. However, things didn't turn out the way he wanted. While COVID was a blessing, he couldn't get a visa to go for his exchange year. They were still banning foreigners, so he had to change his destination last minute and had to choose between Belgium and Austria. He chose Austria through a coin flip, and that was when he disappeared for 6 months. Typically, when you go on exchange, you're not supposed to be in contact with family back home because of homesickness. So when he got there, we called one last time, and then he went completely radio silent. We didn't hear from him for 6 months, and we thought that it was a safe country, so nothing bad could happen. Around March of this year, he called us out of the blue, and he was a completely different person. He changed the way he spoke, the way he dressed, and the way he acted in public. It made me so proud. Of course, though, when we were in private, his weeabooness would still come out, but this made me appreciate him. The amount of character he built in the last few years is outstanding. He traveled, made new friends from around the world, had so many new experiences, and got a girlfriend. It was amazing. He came back this year in July and said that the experience completely changed him. He's a completely different person, but if you get to know him, his mushy side does come out. It's not like he is repressing himself either. I think he has come to peace with the person he is and how he ought to act in society. He has so much wisdom, and it's crazy to me. He's been getting into e-commerce and finance recently and is on a gap year, finishing up a few courses so that he can get into university. I feel more inspired by him. Of course, I did advise him a lot through it too. I also did have a short weeaboo phase, but I grew out of it myself before grade 7. For him, it just kept on going, but he did the work himself and has made himself very respectable. He did it himself. TLDR, weeaboos possess this ability where they can push through anything to get what they want, and it's kind of crazy. Because they don't care about societal rules, they can move faster than anyone else, and they have extremely low lows and extremely high highs. Inspire the weeaboos around you to integrate. Don't bully them, but be good friends with them. There's probably some genetic reason why they get so hyper-fixated on things. Just make them hyper-fixate on the right thing, and they will eventually see the truth and do incredible things in short amounts of time. My brother is smarter than me in every way except rationale. It's a good thing, we all have our strengths.